The Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Cooperative proudly present Simply Southern with your hosts Jim Allen and Mary Johnson.
Good morning and welcome to Simply Southern. I'm Mary Johnson.
And I'm Jim Allen. Coming up on today's show, we'll take a look at the future of agriculture as we visit with Alabama's outstanding young farm family.
For students across the country, going to Space Camp is a highlight of their education. But it's not just for kids. Today, we'll visit with educators turned learners at Space Camp in Huntsville. And Sydney Phelps is visiting Dr. A's research garden this week. Together, they're looking for pests that could ruin tomatoes before they have a chance to ripen.
But first, we're hitching up the wagons and heading east to find the Old West. You follow me, Pilgrim? We'll hit the trail for Geneva County's Old Town right on the other side of this here break.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
Support healthy food from local farmers. Join the Alabama Farmers Federation today. Since 1921, the Alabama Farmers Federation has been the voice of farmers and rural Alabama, standing up for family values, good government, low taxes, and economic opportunity. The Federation has helped make agriculture and forestry Alabama's largest industry, accounting for 1 in every 4 jobs. Join the Alabama Farmers Federation today at any local Alpha Insurance office.
Today's farming operation is more complex than ever before, with precision agriculture becoming an integral piece to farm management. AccuField provides precision agriculture technologies and site-specific management capabilities in a simplified and interactive format, helping you put all the pieces of the farming puzzle together. For more information, visit us at www.accufield.com.
I'm just like my customers. I work hard and I play hard. I also help my dad on the farm when I can. That's the great thing about Alpha. We work hard for our customers. It's more than price. It's personal attention and great claim service. Hey, bud.
For the best agents in the business, call Alpha.
Tumbleweeds, longhorns, and cowboys, dusty, sun-baked burgs teeming with lawless desperados, and steely-eyed marshals upholding the law. Doesn't sound much like Alabama's wiregrass, now does it? Well, if there's one thing I'm well aware of by now, folks, it's that our state is full of surprises.
The sign out front says Old Town, and I'd say it's well named. Something about the place just has that clock in my head ticking away towards high noon. It's enough to give a man a powerful thirst.
Let me have a whiskey.
Cowboy, what do you think that is right there? We don't take no such stuff as that in here. We don't know nothing about it. Cash only.
I guess I should have paid more attention to that other sign out front. It's all part of the fun at Old Town, a little oasis of western charm just across the Geneva County line.
BJ, what gave you the idea for Old Town?
Well, Jim, about 35 years ago, I got interested in cowboy. And I started working in these cowboy towns and worked several places all over the United States. Eventually then I quit traveling. Didn't want to travel anymore. It was getting hard. And so I said, well, I'm gonna come down here and build me a place. So several years ago, I come down here and started building me a place. And all my neighbors thought I was crazy.
Oh, Lord.
Hold it, Jim, looks like we got a break here. Jim, I'm sorry about that.
Now you got all that killing out of the way.
Yeah, I reckon we can get back to what we was talking about, can't we?
We can.
Being a family show and all, I can assure you no ruffians were harmed in the making of this television segment. It's all part of Old Town's Wild West show, a thrilling mix of knife throwing, trick shooting with rifles and pistols, and if that isn't enough to earn our friend Rip here his dinner, BJ has even been known to drag out a blowgun.
It's kind of a little similar to what they used to do 100 years ago. They would travel around and they would do rifle shooting, pistol shooting, which I'm using live ammunition and real weapons, you know. All these targets that I shoot at and all that, there is somebody else on the other end of it. But it took years and years to get to the point like that where you trust yourself well enough to do that. Most everybody gonna ask me when I go somewhere, you ever hurt anybody? Well, by the grace of God, I never have.
But hey, the Old West wasn't all showdowns and shootouts. It turns out Old Town isn't such a bad little place to kick back and take her easy.
I have weddings, I have birthday parties, anniversaries, family gatherings of any kind, just any kind of function.
Yeah, folks, I'm sure his neighbors still think he's crazy, but BJ's tribute to our western frontier has put a lot of smiles on a lot of faces, which is all an old cowboy can ask for, right?
Whether we do a show or whether they just come down and just eat and entertain themselves, half of them come to me and tell me what a great time they had. And they tell me how different it is. And then especially we do the shows and all that, you know, we really get into it sometimes, real hard and heavy. And they love that. They love it, you know.
They may not take credit cards in the saloon, but they do love getting likes on their Facebook page. Go figure. Search them out at Old Town Dothan.
I still can't believe that you let that guy throw knives at you, but at least he missed your hat.
Well, what about that 10-gallon hat on that 12-gallon head?
Seemed a little tight, yeah. Up next, Teachers of the Year from across the country are used to rising above the rest, but at Space Camp, they reach even greater heights.
Alabama soybean farmers help fuel the state's economy. Soybeans are used to make clean, renewable biodiesel and are a key ingredient in feed for poultry, catfish, and livestock. Soybeans are used in dozens of products we use every day. But best of all, soybean farmers generate $258 million and more than 4,000 jobs for Alabama's economy, all while helping conserve our natural resources. Explore the power of soy.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
We believe a plant should be more than a plant. This one is. It's all you need for your garden to succeed. Because it's a Bonnie plant. It represents hundreds of varieties of Bonnie's quality veggies and herbs. But more, it's from generations of Bonnie people who are passionate about sharing their love of gardening with you. Look for this little Bonnie plant and a whole family of plants like it in your garden center. Bonnie plants, so you'll know how to grow.
Since 1970, the Alabama Space and Rocket Center has showcased Huntsville's rich history as the epicenter for space research and development. 12 years later, Space Camp opened to inspire a new generation of students to shoot for the stars. But the one-of-a-kind experience isn't just for kids. It's also for families, businesses, and teachers.
For Illinois Teacher of the Year Kim Thomas, Space Camp was her first trip to Alabama.
I teach Mathlicious Math to the number of sides on a heptagon grade and the square root of 64 grade at Woodruff School in Peoria, Illinois. It's an alternative school.
All right, so that's 7th and 8th?
Yep.
Okay.
Thomas participated in a special space academy for educators. For almost a decade, the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville has welcomed the nation's 50 state Teachers of the Year to Space Camp for the event, which is also attended by international teachers.
I have never been to Space Camp or even heard about it. This is such an amazing experience. I call it Spacelicious. I can't even put it into numbers, the time I've had and how great it has been to be here.
The week-long program includes missions and training that emphasize teamwork and encourage collaboration. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for these teachers, including Alabama's Teacher of the Year, Jennifer Brown, a first-time Space Camp attendee.
We've done lots of great team building activities where we've had to come together as a team and try to maybe build a Land Rover or try to protect an egg from getting burned by building an ablative shield. So it's been a great week because we've been able to be learners again.
Brown said she enjoyed welcoming outstanding teachers to her home state to collaborate and reinvigorate their passion for teaching. And the training gave her new ideas for her physical science class at Vestavia Hills High School.
As a science teacher, there are absolutely things I'm going to be able to take back, especially yesterday when we were trying to create the shield to protect the egg. That's something I will take back immediately for my convection, conduction, and radiation unit.
But Space Camp is about more than teaching science and math skills. It's the realized vision of aerospace engineer Dr. Werner von Braun.
He was walking through the rocket park and he said, you know, this is ridiculous. We have band camp and cheerleading camp and football camp. Why can't we have a science camp? Why can't we have a space camp? So we're 34 years old now and we've had 750,000 graduates. Our mission here is not to make astronauts out of everyone. Our mission is to crack the cosmic egg of everyone who comes through here and to let them see the full realm of possibilities that lie ahead of them.
Space Camp boasts graduates in numerous fields, including a Metropolitan Opera singer and Elon Musk of SpaceX, a company that's paving the future of space exploration.
Dr. von Braun himself was a Renaissance man. He was a very well-rounded individual, as we see with so many geniuses. And we want to try to really impart to the students who come here and the teachers who come here that arts are part of life. If we hadn't had Jules Verne, we might never have thought about going to the planets.
Space Camp is open to everyone from age 7 to 100+7. There are weekend programs for families and special trainings for businesses. Meanwhile, the Space and Rocket Center continues to be Alabama's #1 tourist attraction, with award-winning museum exhibits, a new children's engineering center, and IMAX and National Geographic theaters.
Many people came through the Space and Rocket Center on a field trip while they were in school and perhaps haven't been here since they were in the 5th grade. So if you haven't been in a long time, it's not the same Rocket Center you saw many years ago. And we want the people of Alabama to enjoy this. It belongs to the people of Alabama.
For Thomas, she's hoping to bring her family back from Illinois to Alabama for a visit to Space Camp.
I mean, this is just like a dream come true. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it's just like, my whole experience as Teacher of the Year has been like drop the mic experiences. This is definitely drop the mic to Space Camp.
To help more Alabama students experience Space Camp, the legislature recently approved the Space Academy for leading students in Alabama. You can find out more about that program at spacecamp.com/salsa, just like the dip, /salsa.
You know, I never got to go to Space Camp, but I have been to the Space and Rocket Center, and it is most impressive.
It really is, and I never went to Space Camp either. Always jealous of the kids who did get to go, so glad that more will get the opportunity now.
You know, Mary, less than 20 miles from Space Camp, you'll find this year's Outstanding Young Farm Family for Alabama. We'll meet the McGills when Simply Southern continues.
Alabama wheat and feed grain farmers grow food, fuel, and freedom. Their harvest helps feed Alabama's multi-million-dollar livestock, catfish, and poultry industries while reducing America's dependence on foreign countries for energy and food. By combining their strength with farmers of other commodities, feed grain growers are fueling the economic growth of Alabama communities.
Join the more than 350,000 families who can save money as members of the Alabama Farmers Federation. Members get discounts at local businesses and can save on GM cars and trucks, hotel stays, child car seats, and more. For about 50 cents a week, your family could save hundreds of dollars a year. Join the Alabama Farmers Federation and start saving today. Learn more at any Alpha Insurance office.
Nothing brings the family together like U.S. farm-raised catfish. American catfish farmers are dedicated to producing a premium, healthy catfish with a consistently mild, sweet flavor. Because we take as much pride in our work as you do in your cooking. From our family farms to your family's table, you can be sure you're getting the highest quality fish. Because your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Agriculture is Alabama's #1 industry, and based on the young people choosing farming as an occupation, its future is bright. This summer, the Alabama Farmers Federation named the state's outstanding young farm family. And this morning, Kevin Worthington introduces us to the McGills of Madison County.
Stuart and Casey McGill of Madison County both grew up working on farms. But in 2011, they decided to strike out on their own with little more than 11 acres and a dream.
We started with a little bean patch, and we made a crop, made 35 bushels an acre, and we thought we hit a home run. We thought we were just living high, and so it kind of started growing from there.
Today, the McGills farm more than 600 acres of cotton, corn, and soybeans, including 272 acres of owned land. They're both licensed crop insurance agents, and Stuart manages Casey's family's agritourism operations at Tate Farms.
It worked out well, I guess, for the family and for myself that I married someone who did love agriculture, and they wanted to follow and kind of have the same footsteps that my family had always had, and that's something that has allowed me to stay in the agriculture community. Stay involved in the farm, probably more than I would have had I not married someone who was interested in farming.
Tate Farms, a 5,000-acre family row crop operation, opened its doors to school groups 20 years ago. Under Stuart's leadership, the farm has become a year-round destination, hosting everything from field trips and weddings to corporate outings for as many as 6,000 people.
I take a lot of pride in the amount of people that we're able to touch every year. And our voice in agriculture. North Alabama has learned to trust us and to listen to us, and we take pride in that. When there's an issue on agriculture and the news media wants to know, they come to us, and we take pride in that because we feel we can be the voice for agriculture here.
Although Casey now spends most of her time helping other farmers manage risk, come fall of the year, it's all hands on deck at Tate Farms.
I used to help Dad plant the pumpkins and inventory the seeds and things like that. And Stuart kind of came on and took my job from me a little bit, but here I do what needs to be done. You know, whether that's in the kitchen, preparing the meals, whether that's working the produce shed, whatever needs to be done that day, that's what I do.
Meanwhile, the McGills are focused on improving the productivity of their own farm. They've added grain storage, bought used quality equipment, and plan for the future by purchasing land with water for future irrigation.
When you're young and starting out, there's going to be a lot of risk, and we've done that, and we've hit a few crops in a row. Hopefully the good Lord will give us some rain this year and we'll be able to hit another crop. But if He don't, that's going to be okay too. You know, we're going to live to see another day.
Casey says it's rewarding to see their girls, Allie, Reese, and Peyton, grow up on the farm watching their daddy.
It's encouraging that they get to grow up where there's somewhere safe that they can come, and even if he does have to go off somewhere, they know this yard's like the back of their hand, and they're able to come out here and spend the day, and that's encouraging.
Stuart studied physical education and biology at Auburn University while coaching softball. And Casey has a marketing degree from the University of Alabama, Huntsville. Both are active in the Farmers Federation and frequently speak to groups about the importance of agriculture. In 2014, Stuart reached the Sweet 16 in the American Farm Bureau Federation's discussion meeting. He says farming and being an ambassador for agriculture just comes natural.
Kind of got instilled in me pretty young, and and couldn't get away from it. I think it hooked me more than I hooked it, let's put it that way.
For Simply Southern, I'm Kevin Worthington.
The McGill's prize package totaled more than $60,000 and included a new GM pickup truck, a John Deere Gator, and the use of a brand new John Deere tractor for a year.
That's a lot of great prizes for a very deserving family. Did you know, though, that Casey's parents, Jackie and Steve Tate, have also been the Outstanding Young Farm Family of the Year back just a few years ago?
Well, obviously, excellence in agriculture runs in their blood.
It absolutely does. Good farmers in the McGill and Tate families. When we return, Sydney Phelps from Bonnie Plants and Auburn University entomologist Dr. A are in the garden scouting for pests that could ruin your tomato crop.
We all have busy lives. When my customers have a claim, I want to help them get things back to normal as quickly as possible. There's no better claim service out there, and that's one of the reasons I work for Alpha Insurance. And our Alpha to Go app is just one way we make it easy to get that service. Anytime, anywhere.
For the best agents in the business, call Alpha.
What one thing can you say about your local quality co-op store? You can trust us. You get what you need for your farm, for your lawn and garden, and the safest products for your pets. We're locally owned and operated, and you can trust that we care about our community and the people in it. So if you're a raised bed gardener, a rose gardener, or if you farm hundreds of acres, the Quality Co-op Store has exactly what you need to get the job done. All this plus friendly, knowledgeable advice. Your Quality Co-op Store. There's one near you.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
We believe a plant should be more than a plant. This one is. It's all you need for your garden to succeed. Because it's a Bonnie plant. It represents hundreds of varieties of Bonnie's quality veggies and herbs. But more, it's from generations of Bonnie people who are passionate about sharing their love of gardening with you. Look for this little Bonnie plant and a whole family of plants like it in your garden center. Bonnie Plants, so you'll know how to grow.
Hey folks, Sydney Phelps here with Bonnie Plants. Today we're in Clanton, Alabama at one of the test gardens for Dr. A with Auburn University. Dr. A, thank you so much for being with us. Now, today's pretty cool. We're looking at about 2 acres of tomatoes, and with this crop rotation, Dr. A's got a ton of things going on with, controlled, untreated, treated versions of plants, but we're scouting right now, and we've luckily come upon a couple of real problems that everyday gardeners come in, and I'm gonna let Dr. A talk a little bit about this. We got one of our guys, he's moving on to do his next level of destruction. So, Dr. A, let's talk about scouting.
All right, we're glad to be here and welcome back. This is August, and we are in the peak insect activity season. And what I mean is, not only are the moths laying eggs, but those eggs the caterpillars are coming out, they are busy chomping down these plants. And this is 2-acre plot, like you said, but the reality is these insects are also in your home garden. So a lot of what you're going to see is going to relate to what's happening. And right now we have different species of caterpillars feeding together, and sometimes those are hard to tell, but gardeners have to be on alert that they should be scouting every week or more often to protect their crop.
And right now we've got a hornworm. Hornworms are vicious in tomato gardens. You can see some of the damage just right here in front of us where they're taking the leaves off and working the stem down. And we've actually got one right here in front of us as he's transferring on to the next level of leaf because he's already finished what he is. What's a good way to manage hornworms in the garden?
Well, first off, know when to manage them. If you see caterpillars, at least one on every plant, you know it's either time or it's too late, because they will move very quickly between plants, especially like you see here where we have the plants so close together.
Right.
So that's why we traditionally in gardens try to have a little bit separation so that they don't go so fast between the plants. So it's always a good idea to manage your plant distance. But there are hornworms, there's also armyworms feeding on these tomatoes right now, and these are your untreated tomatoes. So if you do nothing, this is what the plots will look like. It's all holes and the fruits have been eaten up, and you can't, almost 50% of the crop is gone. Now to control them, caterpillars luckily is easier for a gardener and organic farmers. BT products like Dipel, Thuricide. Turisaide is a home product. Those work really well. If you're buying home products, just remember that use them more often and use them as many times as needed, and then stop spraying when you don't need them. So watch the caterpillars. They take about 10-14 days to die from some of these organic products. So be patient and give those organic products time to act.
Okay.
And that's critical to a home gardener.
And one way to be proactive is to keep a steady flow all the time to make sure you're being preventative.
Yes.
But now, talking about the armyworm, we've got the armyworm here beside me. Armyworms are detrimental in hay forage, of course. Anybody that does hay production has seen them just remotely destroy a hayfield. Same thing in a garden.
Correct. And what happens in armyworms is they're very unique insects. They breed and they grow in the first generation grows in the hay and pasture. And then they move to our crops, especially vegetable crops, late into the season. So what you're seeing right now is probably the third or the fourth generation. They go up to 6-7 generations in Alabama with our heat. So you're looking at a continuously growing population of armyworms here. So keep a watch on these because they feed on large numbers and they can completely take away your yield.
Well, Dr. A, thank you so much for your time today. Folks, check out more information on Dr. A's website, bonnieplants.com, or Homegrown with Bonnie Plants.
Those tomato hornworms, they are ugly creatures.
They are ugly. Most people hand pick them from their tomato plants. I tell you what, for cheap entertainment, you toss one amongst your flock of yard chickens.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, a fight will ensue.
I bet that would be interesting. If you have a question for Sydney, drop him an email at simplysouthern@alafarm.com and he may answer it on an upcoming show. Or you can always consult the website bonnieplants.com.
For more information on this week's featured stories, check out their websites. A quick internet search is the easiest way to find Old Town Dothan's Facebook page. There are lots of pictures and you can read reviews from previous visitors.
Spacecamp.com or RocketCenter.com will take you to the Space Camp website. You can also find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. And you can meet Alabama's outstanding young farm family in person by booking a trip to their pumpkin patch in the fall. Just visit TateFarmsAL.com.
To see this show again, or any of our previous shows, visit our website at simplysouthern.tv.net. And while you're online, be sure to like our Facebook page. I hope you'll join us again next Sunday morning as we meet some of the unusual people you might find around Dothan.
We'll also meet a North Alabama farmer who's raising her 18-month-old son and 60,000 chickens all at the same time. Thanks for watching Simply Southern this week. I'm Mary Johnson.
And I'm Jim Allen. We look forward to seeing you again next Sunday morning.
Simply Southern is a production of the Alabama Farmers Cooperative and the Alabama Farmers Federation.